in today's show?
So in the review, we're going to be talking about Stoke's loss against Millwall, which was 2-1. Then the play ratings for that game. Then the preview of the Birmingham versus Stoke game. Then both sides' last four matches. Then the preferred lineups for the game against Birmingham. Then for our debate question this week, name one player for Stoke should sign in the summer.
Yeah.
You would want if we had no financial fair play restrictions, and you want, but with financial fair play restrictions.
Yeah, sorry, that should actually say without financial fair play restrictions. That's my bad on that. Yeah, so yeah, one with if we had it, and then one if we didn't have it. But yeah. So it should be a decent one anyway, especially the last one's interesting. One that you'd want with no financial fair play, and one that you'd want if we had financial fair play. Although I do realise that is put there correctly. I don't know, I've just had a blinder there. I've had a bit of a stinker then. Right, anyway, we'll get into it then, starting with the first one. Review for Stoke against Millwall. Stoke were at home, lost 2-1. So, what did you think of that?
Well, to be fair, I think we just made errors, and we deserve to lose because of the errors. I think without players like Jack Clark and all that, we can't start or bring on now. Since Jack Clark's injured and he's actually gone back to Tottenham now. There's nothing you can hope for. You can only hope for either Stephen Fletcher to score or Nick Powell to score.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's I get what you're saying. I mean, for me, the main issue is that against Millwall, I mean, I watched that game and it's just every time we went to attack, we just kept ball away. Once we get near the final third, we just kept giving it away. And there were so many poor performances. There'll be there won't be very many high ratings from me, let's just put it that way. But and then as well as one of the goals as well, it's just a massive error from Danny Batt because he's one of the only defenders left. And he's come to slide in, and he's completely missed the whole ball, which just sets them through. So but we'll get into players specifically then next as we go into the play ratings. If you'd like to start with yours.
Right. So Davies in goal. I don't think he was convincing when Millwall had free kicks or set pieces. I'll give him a 6. Smith, he had an okay game. Wasn't the best game in the world, but he did okay. I'll give him a 6 again. Norrington Davies, he was willing to get forward. But he could have had a couple of better crosses. Other than that, nothing really. I'll give him a 6. Chester, he had quite a few touches, to be fair. Kept things neat, but still conceded 2. Wasn't his fault, but we still conceded 2. I'll give him a 6. Suter, he had the task with bringing out the ball, which is weird for a defender, but he did the job okay. He kept defensively. Well, defensively he was reasonably sound. I'll give him a 7. Played really well, to be fair. Bat. What can you say about Bat, man? What? You tell me why he keeps starting.
It's literally only because we we essentially play a defensive five, don't we? Because we have 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs. If we weren't playing like a 5 at the back, essentially, if we weren't playing a defensive style, if we were playing 4 at the back, there's no way he'd be in there. It's literally only because we play 3 centre backs and we've got 2 that we trust, and then we have to try and find a third one, and the only other player we've got is him. If we were playing 4 at the back, there's no way he'd be starting.
It's like we could why don't we just play 4 at the back? It's Millwall. Why are we going defensive against Millwall?
And the worrying thing about it is we go defensive against Millwall and we still concede 2 to him as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really worrying.
I'm going to give it a 3. Shit. On to John Obi Mikel. Had some nice turns on the ball in tight areas. I'll give him a 6. Thompson, he had a decent partnership with Mikel. And he fed in some good balls to Powell and Norrington Davies too. I'll give him a 7. Quite decent. Powell, for us, probably the best player on the pitch in the first half. He made a really good ball for the equaliser. And yet again, fouls on him. Probably the most foul player in the league right now. Honestly, I'll give him a 7. Brown could have scored, but he didn't. I think he suits being up top with someone else. He has to be up top with someone else. And that's and that's how it showed at Millwall. I'll give him a 6. Fletcher, he had a few shots in the first half, but nothing too convincing, and easy dealt with the keeper. Then just all dried up in the second half. But what can you expect? Like his age and everything. I mean, you can't expect a masterclass every game, can you? From him since he's 35, 34.
No, I didn't think it. Well, yeah. Plus, I didn't think he had good enough service from many players anyway in that second half. To be honest,
I'll give him a 6. Then we had how many subs? We had 4.
4 subs, yeah.
4 subs, bloody hell. So Clucas for Brown. Actually, his first appearance since the operation he had. Yeah. So good to see him back out. He had 20 minutes of the game, not too much, but decent amount. I'll give him a 5 because he couldn't really do anything. Just warming into the game.
Yeah.
McLean, he actually for Bat. So what formation did we go in after he came on?
I think because we took him off for Bat. I think it then went to a back 4, and it sort of went into a 4-3-3. I think.
See, that's why can't we do that in the beginning? It doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
All right. He gave away a doozy foul to concede near his own corner flag as time ticked down, and he had a decent cross at the other end. But other than that, nothing to say because he only came on in the 76th minute. So 5. Matando, just shit. Getting back to Schalke. He didn't have much opportunity to run at defenders, but we've seen this all season. He can't do it anyway. Well, he's not convincing enough.
You wait until I talk about him on mine, honestly.
Oh, God. What? Are you going to shithouse him?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
I'll give him a 4. Fuck Matando. Vokes for Smith. So what's going on here then? Vokes for Smith? Will we play
at this
4
point,
attackers or something?
At this point, we were just chucking everything at it, I think.
On and no, but
something back in.
He didn't have any chances, did he? Of course, you wouldn't. It's Vokes.
No.
4. Fuck it. I don't care. That's all for me.
Yep, fair enough. And I'll go on to mine. Let's put that there. Right. So in goal, Davies. A bit like what you said. He wasn't very convincing. I saw him. There's a few times he spilled out the ball. So one from set piece where he tried to catch it and he let it slip out. And the ball was bouncing a little bit. There's another one where comfortable shot thrown towards him and he spills it back out and then has to run out for it, make sure nobody gets onto it. So not as convincing this time. So I'll just give him a 5. And then Norrington Davies, he was poor really. I mean, he wasn't the worst player obviously, but I can remember there was a couple of times just a few poor crosses that he was putting in, not like his usual crossing ability, which usually is brilliant, but crossing was a bit off. I'll give him a 6. Smith was okay, but that's about it. It's like he didn't do anything necessarily wrong, but he didn't do anything that right either, so I'll just give him a 6. Chester was okay. I have an issue with Chester, Suter and Bat. More Bat, obviously. But I have an issue with all three of them for the first goal because the balls come in and if you watch the goal, the one player who's actually there on the line trying to stop it from going in is Stephen Fletcher.
Wait, hold up.
How was that happening? How was that happening? The one player who was on the line, who slid in to try and stop the ball, was Fletcher. Suter, Chester and Bat were all nowhere near him. It was Fletcher who had to run in on the line, try and stop it from going in, because Fletcher, Suter and Bat were all just standing there. And for me, that's just ridiculous. The fact that the player who's trying to stop the goal on the line is the striker instead of one of the centre-backs is a bit of a joke, really.
Yeah, it is.
So I'd say Chester wasn't bad other than that, but he wasn't particularly impressive. So he still conceded 2 goals against the Millwall side that could only grab 1 against 10 men Rotherham. So it doesn't really show that good. So I'll give him a 4. Suter was okay, but not aerially present today, even in his own defensive box on set pieces. He was getting beat by Millwall players that are smaller than him. And just that a couple of times, it's not good enough really. So for me, it's a 4. And then Bat, I mean, you've got that first goal that I was on about, and then oh my goodness me, the second one. He's the last defender. It should be, that slide tackle should be light work. He slides, completely misses the ball. I've never seen a defender slide and completely miss the ball. He literally slid into nothing, slid into open air because he's missed everything. So the defender's just sort of stood there and gone, oh, okay, cheers, mate. And then because Bat slid past him, he's just through. It's just him and Davies at that point. Slots it away. Joke, absolute joke of a slide tackle that was. So for me, that's a 1, to be honest. Just is.
Yeah. Is that like your lowest scoring, like ever for these podcasts?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Pretty sure it. So,
yeah. Moving on to midfield then. Jordan Thompson. He was okay at best. All of our players, to be honest, when we were attacking, gave away the ball multiple times. Thompson was all right, but he didn't really show enough. I'm not convinced by him still because he doesn't show anything when he plays. He doesn't. He has the odd pass every now and again, but other than that, he doesn't get the ball and drive with it and push forward. When he gets the ball, you don't think, oh, we could be onto something here. You just don't. I think we've signed a bang average midfielder. Hence, probably why he was at Blackpool in League One. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 5. John Obi Mikel. I thought he was poor, to be honest. Gave away a ball a couple of times. I just thought he's a bit sloppy, really. And somebody of his calibre should be doing better than that, so I'm going to give him a 4. Nick Powell, right, I've never felt so frustrated with Nick Powell in my life, honestly. Shocking. Really bad. Absolute travesty, to be honest. Because, he got a lot of free kicks, but let's be honest, half the time he dives. I'm not moaning about that, by the way. Some of them are fouls. Half the time he does just dive. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's not that anyway. It's just the amount of times he gave away the ball, and when he was getting on it and giving it away, it's like he's moving with the ball or kicking the ball like with no effort, like dead lazy. He just seemed dead lazy. Now, I know at times in games he can have moments where he's a bit lazy, but he just seemed lazy all game. On the ball, just throwing it away. Didn't look like he was trying or like making any sort of effort. That's the most frustrated I've probably felt with Powell since the beginning of this season. And for somebody of his quality as well, if you're gonna mess up, at least make it look like you're making an effort, is what I'd say. So for me, it's got to be a 3. And then Jacob Brown it showed how bad we were as a team, because he probably looked like our best player until he came off. And he wasn't that particularly good, but he looked like our best player, other than Fletcher.
Yeah.
He scored, obviously, as well. The one goal that we got. Although a lot of credit's got to be given to Fletcher for the beautiful ball he fed through to Jacob Brown. But I mean, I'd say the goal was decent. He did more than anybody else, to be honest with you. So I'll give him a 7. Fletcher, brilliant ball to Brown. Was trying to do stuff, was trying to create stuff. But he couldn't really do much. I'll give him a 6. And then going on to the subs. Right, I'm going to leave Matondo last, but I'll go on to the others. Okay. Right, Vokes. I'm. By the way, guys, these are in like no particular order, by the way. But Vokes. I mean, to be honest, I was really frustrated when he came on, because
I think everyone is.
Because I don't know how he still gets minutes at this football club. Like, you think of how many minutes Sam Vokes gets on a regular basis, you'd think we're playing in League 2 or something. It's just ridiculous. But he didn't really get any chances. It's not even like he really messed it up. He didn't really get the chances in the first place. So I can't really give him a low rating just because I don't rate him, because he didn't actually do anything wrong, so I'll just give him a 5. Klukas, his first time coming back in a while, didn't have many minutes, was okay, but didn't have enough time to show anything, so just gave him a 5. McLean, he was trying to bring some energy going forward, and that was clear to see, but again, he couldn't really do anything. He didn't have enough time either. He should have started, in my opinion. But I'll just give him a 5. Now, Matondo, right? He took on that, whoever Millwall's fullback was for that game, he took that player on, trying to think, 3, 4, 5 times. He took him on. He lost it every single time. Every single time. He took him on 4, 5 times. I was watching the game. He drove at him 4, 5 times. He lost it every single time. Absolutely clueless. He goes on the wing. He runs at a defender. He does a couple of step overs and thinks, yeah, that'll do him. It's ridiculous. That fullback, I'm telling you now, you could almost see it in that fullback's eyes. Like his eyes would like light up with like money signs every time Matondo would go at him because he knew. Oh, this is an easy pay rise for me because I'm going to win every single battle here. Like ridiculous, shocking. You see, I haven't seen anything like it. Like it'd be like me playing for Stoke on the right wing, just a couple of step overs and hope I get past him. Because, right, I mean, obviously I'm not pro level, obviously, but the level I do play at, I'm a defender, and Matondo was busting out skill moves that I'd be busting out. It's step overs, the basics. Just rubbish, absolute rubbish. Honestly, I could tackle him. I could tackle him easy. I tell you what, I hope we come against Matondo in our 6-a-side league, Ethan. Because I tell you what, mate, I'll tackle him every time. Useless. He wouldn't trick me at all. Terrible, I thought. And I tell you what, keep him at Schalke. Schalke, he's not even going to be good enough for Bundesliga 2. He seriously isn't. He's not going to be good enough for Bundesliga 2. I don't think I'd trust him in, not to be too mean on him, but I don't think I'd trust him at a League 2 side. I just, he's not convincing at all. I see him get the ball, and as soon as I see him drive at a defender, I think, oh no, we're going to lose it now. And then we lose it. And then he's got them stupid blue gloves on with the short sleeve shirts. What's
the point?
I just can't be bothered with it. I can't be bothered. It's just like watching. It's just like watching a primary school kid take on a bunch of year 11s. It's just, what's the point? It's never going to work, is it? It's never going to work. So, yeah, for me, Matondo, seriously, zero. He deserves nothing. He got the ball and lost it every time. So why should he deserve a rating? So that's mine done. Yeah.
Before we go into the preview of the Birmingham versus Stoke,
yeah,
I will say,
yeah,
Porto are losing 2-0 against Chelsea,
and
I'm pretty sure that's the final score because there's literally like 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
And Bayern Munich versus PSG is 3-2 to PSG right now, away. So it's looking more than likely PSG will go through since the away goal rule.
Yeah, I was watching some of that earlier.
But you never know.
Yeah, I was watching some of that earlier. PSG do look like the more convincing side when I was watching it. But some goals in that game, though. That's decent. But, I mean, Chelsea as well, they're sort of just doing what they're expected to do in a way. I mean, fair play to them. But they did get, like, Porto, you never even expect them to get this far.
No.
Like, with the team they have.
And I'll tell you what. The goals for Chelsea, oh my God, both amazing.
Fair enough, yeah.
Chilwell scored. He went on a dazzling run and bloody went round the keeper and everything.
Jeez. Well, I reckon we should save it there. Save it for the Champions League, Europa League episode, which we'll be doing soon, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's interesting though, yeah. Them scores. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how them teams react in the second leg. But yeah. Alright then, well, we'll go into this preview then as we take on Birmingham away. I'm pretty sure it is. So we'll look at the last 4 games very quickly then for both teams. We'll start with Birmingham since they're the home side for the next one. So Birmingham played Reading at home and won 2-1. Then they played Watford away, lost 3-0. Then they played Swansea at home and won 1-0. And then they went away to Brentford and got and drew 0-0. So in their last 4 games, they've got 2 wins, a loss, and a draw. So that's quite decent, to be fair, over the last few games. I mean, they have been struggling this season. hovering just above the relegation zone. So they've not had a good season, but last 4 games, they got some decent results, to be honest, considering how they've been this season. Then looking at Stoke, Stoke took on Cardiff away, drew 0-0. Then Stoke played Derby at home, won 1-0. Then Stoke went away to Bristol City and won 2-0. And then last game, Stoke were at home and lost 2-1 to Millwall. So for Stoke, that's 1 win, 2 wins, a loss and a draw, which I think is exactly the same as Birmingham.
Yeah.
So exactly the same form in the last 4 games. I think
form-wise, like recent results, I think Birmingham are the better side because, let's be honest, 1-0 win against Swansea, very good result.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
And a 0-0 draw against Brentford. You're keeping out players like Ivan Toney and Mbembo and all them players like that. That's a clean sheet against them.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Yeah. So then, obviously, should be an interesting one. We always struggle as well against Birmingham, especially away. So I'm not really looking forward to it in that sense. But we're going to go on to the preferred lineups then. And what do you think is the best lineup to get us a bounce back after that defeat? I'll let you go through yours.
Mate, to be honest, since Birmingham are like, what, the 21st, mate? The 21st, come on. We've got to go 4-3-3. We've got to. If we go with the shitty 5-3-2, 3-5-2 formation, fuck off, honestly. Get fucked on it, honestly. It's pissing me off. It's boring. Anyway, I'll go with Adam Davies in goal, even though he had a shaky performance against Millwall. Mm-hmm. Still solid keeper for us. We'll go right back, Tommy Smith, Chester, Suter in centre backs. Left back, Norrington Davies. So we'll have 3 in midfield of McCall, Allen. Actually, we'll go McCall. I want to see Klukas play. So we'll go Klukas, McCall, and Powell. Then left wing McLean, right wing Jacob Brown, and Fletcher up top.
Okay. Alright, and so for me, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go same formation as you. My team's nearly exactly the same as yours. There's literally only one change, but I'll go through mine. So Davies in goal, then 4 at the back of Norrington Davies and Tommy Smith as the 2 fullbacks. Then 2 centre backs is Suter and Chester. Then 3 in midfield, and I was going to say exactly the same thing. I want to see chuck Klukas into this one from the beginning, since he got some minutes at the end of the last game. So Klukas, McCall and Powell. On the left, I have McLean. Up front, I have Fletcher. Now, even though Jacob Brown scored, I think he struggles when he's as a winger.
Yeah.
So if I was playing like a 4-4-2 or something and I was having 2 up front, then yeah, I'll probably start him, but I'd rather do a 4-3-3. Now, his name's gone right out of my head. What's that youngster called, that winger that we've played a couple of times? Only briefly, but his name's gone out of my head. Wait, what'd you say?
Norton.
That's it, Norton, mate. Yeah, I just start him on the right and see if we can do. I know we won't, but that's what I prefer personally. Just because he's so young, he's just going to go for it. Like, and to be honest,
I said this. I said that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
1 or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I can remember saying.
He hasn't been brought on, so I haven't said anything about him.
Yeah, I don't think he will feature, but just I'd start him. Just give him a go. He'll love getting the opportunity to start. He's probably just going to give it his all, full of confidence. So I'd go with Norton. But yeah, that'd be my side. for the game.
I mean, another thing is as well is, are we playing anything for anymore? Realistically.
Well, this is it. This is exactly what I was saying to one of my other mates, was that it's like now, we should try our best to get results, but it doesn't really matter as much now because we can't get relegated and we realistically can't get playoffs. So that there isn't anything to play for, exactly. So for me, it's like, if there's ever a time to give a youngster a go, it's now, because we're not going to lose anything. I think we'd gain. I think we'd gain with starting somebody like him anyway. He looks like he could be a really good attacking player. You never know. If we started giving him some minutes, he could grow into like another Tyrese Campbell.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then imagine if we played him for the rest of the season, realised he's ready now and really good, and then potentially next season you've got a front three where them two are both in it. Two youngsters full of confidence going at it. But yeah, so there are preferred lineups then. So then we go on to the final thing, which is talking about the summer, looking at the transfer window. So there's two parts to this, as you said at the beginning. The first one is name one signing that you'd like to make if we've got no financial fair play. Because I don't know if you guys have seen, that might get lifted for Stoke. So I thought, chuck it in there. No financial fair. Let's just say it does happen. No financial fair play anymore. You can make one signing for Stoke, right? Obviously, it's still got to be realistic with money and stuff. Obviously, we all know that. But at least the financial fair play is not there. And then one signing you'd want if the financial fair play does stay. So that's obviously more thinking on a budget. So I'll let you go first if you want to do yours first.
So the player I would choose, not including financial fair play.
Yeah.
So that just gone over. Would be Haaland, mate.
False.
Easy.
Very false.
Hey,
No, very false. It's so false.
No,
it's very bad.
I was going to say.
Honestly, I'd get someone in like a Dwight Gale. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Newcastle are a bit stinky right now, but Dwight Gale in the Championship. Oh.
Yeah, he's quality every time.
2 seasons.
Yeah.
He's proved 2 seasons he can do it. So, I think that would be a good signing for us if we didn't have financial fair play and realistic, to be fair.
Fair enough, yeah. So then it's just what the one signing you make if the financial fair play restrictions stay.
And if we didn't, I would re-sign Jack Clark and Norrington Davies. I'm saying 2.
Okay.
Because I'd re-sign both of them.
Okay. Right then. So is that your answer to them two then?
Yeah.
That's fair enough, yeah. Okay, so I'll go on to mine then. So I'll start with financial fair play. If the financial fair play does stay, then for me, it's always good to look at good talents in the league below because you're more likely to get them on a cheaper deal. Not always, obviously, but more likely to. And the person I would go to, because I think we need a striker, because we've only got Fletcher. We've seen that Vokes and Gregory obviously don't cut it. So for me, it'd be perfect to go for, he plays for Peterborough, Johnson Clark Harris. Now, the reason I would go for him is because, right, just listen to this, right, pretty impressive.
Yes.
This season in League One, 39 matches played, 26 goals.
He's a cracking player.
Unbelievable.
Mate, honestly.
Over 20 goals, and he's still got another 7 games to go. And he's over 20 goals. 26 goals. You know, if he has a good last 7 games, he could finish the season on like 30 goals, which is mental.
Yeah.
So for me, them stats just say it alone. And the one last stat I've got for him is, in terms of goal scoring, is in the Football League trophy, he played 3 times and got 2 goals. So again, good goal to match ratio. But yeah, for me, just 26 goals was still like the back end of the season to go. That's brilliant. So, and because it's a league below, you're more likely to be able to get him for a cheaper price because League One clubs will be too scared to go and be asking for big money.
And plus, most clubs need the money as well.
Exactly, due to COVID as well. Some clubs will just take what they can get.
I'm pretty sure I said this to you again. I'm pretty sure I did, like ages ago.
You might have mentioned it before. But to be fair, like a few months ago, I didn't know too much about him. But then I heard I watched Peterborough Sunderland the other day. So he was on Sky, and they're going on about him. And I was watching him play, and he looked like, even though he didn't score, he looked like really good on the ball. And I thought, hold on, let's start like researching some of his stats and stuff. And I was like, flipping it, like this is really impressive. So, yeah.
The thing is with him, he's not like a striker who only scores inside the box. He can score from anywhere.
Yeah.
He can score outside, inside. Pretty sure he can score from like 40 yards as well. So it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. I'd have him. I'd actually have him as well.
Yeah. And then if we didn't have financial fair play, for both I've gone with a striker because I think that's the one, the thing that we need the most, possibly.
Yeah.
So for me, if we didn't have any financial fair play, because I think this is realistic, and without financial fair play, doable as well, I would go with the certain Mr. Adam Armstrong from Blackburn Rovers.
Okay.
And because he's like massively underrated, I think. If you look at his stats this season, right, this season in the Championship, 34 matches played, he's on 19 goals right now. So he's still got, another 6 or so games to go. He's on 19 goals. He could easily get 20, just over 20. And in the Championship, that's really impressive. To be hitting that sort of range.
He's on place like up top, like most games. I'm pretty sure he plays like left mid sometimes.
Lower. Yeah.
So that's actually really good. He's versatile.
Yeah, and if you look at his goals as well, he's got ones inside the box. He's got bangers from outside the box. His shooting range is really good, and his age as well. Like I'm pretty sure when I looked, he's 24. So
yeah,
it's like that's a brilliant age as well. It's not like he's aging, and yeah.
Aren't Blackburn like near the bottom half of the table? Pretty sure, aren't they?
I think they're in the bottom half. They've been hovering between mid-table, but like
for a mid-table side, 20 goals is amazing.
Exactly, and like if you look at Stoke, all we've been crying out for is a striker that can give us 20 plus goals. And I tell you what, I reckon he could definitely be the man to do it because if you look at the squad he's got around him, other than Harvey Elliott, he hasn't got anybody really of massive quality. Bradley Dack's been injured most of this season. He's massively stepped up. So for me, without financial fair play, I reckon he'd be a cracker of a signing, especially if you've got Tyrese Campbell working with him as well. Goals, I think, there.
And I'm pretty sure, what's it called? He won't cost too much.
No, I don't think he would either. And I think it's realistic because Blackburn, for most of the season, they've been like mid-table, but they've always been like a couple of places below us.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I highly doubt it'd be one of those offers where he'd turn his nose up to it. Like, I reckon he'd be attracted by that move.
Because you think it's a step up, and like since like where are we going in placements and that, like from last season to this season, and like to the start of the season for us technically, because we were like top 6, top 7,
around
that area. So And with Campbell coming back and hopefully staying fit, that'd be really good. And if Campbell isn't fit, we can rely on Armstrong.
Exactly. I mean, for me, I'd just love to see some sort of front three of like Campbell, Armstrong, McLean, or maybe you put Clark in there if he comes back. But for me, I think, or even if you wanted to just have two up top and you've got Campbell and Armstrong, it's just goals. Like if Armstrong's going to get 20 goals at least this season, really, he's on 19. He's got 6 or so games left, so he should at least get 20. And then Campbell as well. Campbell's come out and said his goal is to try and get 20 goals. I mean, if they were both on it, imagine them two racking up like 40 goals together.
Oh, mate, we'd be mental. We'd be top of the table, mate.
Be sorted. We'd absolutely be sorted. So yeah, and I think that'd just be brilliant as well. I think so. That would be mine. It's talking about this. It's making me get all excited, and then I have to remember, Warren, be realistic. This probably isn't going to happen. But there you go. But that is everything, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That is everything for this. Stoke show, pretty much. There will be, later on this week, there will be a Champions League and Europa League show, so it'll be in one, going through all the games this week for that, and looking ahead to the second legs for all those games. And there will also be a Premier League show as well, coming out towards the end of this week. So, should be a good couple of videos coming out after this one to get us through the rest of the week. So there will be more content coming. And like I always say, I mean, we hope you enjoyed listening, because we certainly enjoyed making it. If you did enjoy listening and you're not subscribed, then please subscribe and like the video if you can. And if you've got any thoughts, comments, suggestions, ideas, literally anything really, like Ethan said, then just put it in the comment section below. And thank you for all the support that we've had so far as well. We really appreciate it. And is there anything else you want to say, Ethan, before we go?
Yeah, cheers guys for the support, and just subscribe to the channel. It's free at the end of the day. And if you do subscribe, turn on the notification bell, to not miss any uploads.
Yeah.
And yeah, because there's going to be some good content coming out.
Yeah, especially with the progression of the European competitions as well now.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so pretty decent.
Yeah, that's all from me, anyway.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and we will see you in the next one.
In a bit.